Good evening, and welcome to the first ever Colonial Fund Telethon, entitled For the Love of the Performing Arts. I'm Colin.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Sarah. My name is OG Anderson.
And I'm Thalia. We will be your MCs throughout the show.
For the next 2 nights, you will be dazzled by the amazing talent of our students, dedication of our staff, life lessons of our alumni, and generosity of our community members.
All have come together over 2 nights to help celebrate the Shrewsbury Public Schools Performing Arts Program and to help raise over $50,000 to make this program even better.
Each night will feature different student performances and new interviews, so make sure to watch both nights. And every 15 minutes throughout the show, we'll be announcing a raffle winner. Stay tuned to see if you've won $75, $100, or even $200. Before we get started, we want to thank the staff of Shrewsbury Media Connection for their help putting this entire production together. We also want to thank the Shrewsbury Schools Music and Theater Association, or the SSMA, and all of the parent volunteers for their tireless support of our performing arts program each and every year.
And finally, we want to thank our generous sponsors for their support this evening. Thank you to our presenting sponsors, Jack Collins and Nancy Hughes Collins, our platinum sponsors, Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union and Rockland Trust Bank, and our silver sponsor, Midstate Kitchens. We hope you join them and support our performing arts program by making a donation tonight and helping us reach our goal of $50,000 for music and theater across all of our schools.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin.
Our first student performance tonight is Maddox Netto. Maddox is 15 years old and a freshman at Shrewsbury High School. Maddox taught himself how to play the piano at just 9 years old. Then he took a 3-year break during middle school, but has since restarted his passion for the piano during quarantine. The piece he chose tonight is Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, and it is special to him because it is the first piece he played since starting the piano again.
Thank you, Maddox. That was amazing. It's hard to believe you ever took a break from piano. Now it's already time to announce a raffle winner. Watch your screen for the name of our first prize winner. Our next performer is Anthony Fuselov. Anthony is 11 years old and a 5th grader at Sherwood Middle School. He's been playing the piano for almost 5 years, and tonight Anthony is playing one of his favorite songs for us, Imagine by John Lennon. This year, Anthony participated in the Spirit of Shrewsbury Kids Got Talent competition that was held virtually and won 2nd place in his age category with this song.
was beautiful, Anthony. Thank you. Now I am excited to introduce our first interview of the evening. Preston will be talking to Mr. Tom O'Toole, the director of the Performing Arts Program for our entire school district, from kindergarten through grade 12. Listen to Mr. O'Toole tell you about our Performing Arts Program and the need for your support tonight.
Hi, everyone. My name is Preston, and I am a senior at Shrewsbury High School. I have been involved in the Performing Arts Department in the Shrewsbury Public Schools for many years, and I am very excited and appreciative that I am able to be a part of this event and conduct the interviews that you will see. So I am here today with Mr. Tom O'Toole. So thank you so much for being here and for doing this interview.
Oh, you're welcome. Looking forward to it.
Our first question is, if you could tell us about the Performing Arts Program here in Shrewsbury and what encompasses the Performing Arts Program.
Well, the Performing Arts Program really starts in kindergarten, and we have general music classes from kindergarten through grade 4. And in grade 4, the fourth graders are all invited to join the fourth grade chorus at the schools that they're in. After the elementary schools, when they go over to Sherwood, we begin the instrumental program, the band, chorus, and orchestra program that runs from grades 5 through 12. At the same time as the band and orchestra program begin, we offer after school the SILP, Shrewsbury Instrumental Lesson Program, so that lessons, private lessons for students are contained right in the building for convenience. Once students get to Sherwood, they also get the Sherwood musical experience if they would like to do that after school. When they go over to Oak, the band, chorus, and orchestra program continues, but we add jazz. Also at Oak, we add the electronic music program with Mr. Zuki, and the drama opportunities expand a little bit, where there'll be a fall play and a spring musical. Obviously, in a normal year, not in this year with the pandemic, we aren't able to do those. But in a normal year, that's what happens. Once we leave Oak and come over to the high school, the offerings broaden even more. You know, the band, orchestra, and chorus programs continue, except now that we break them up a little bit and have some honors ensembles, like the wind ensemble, the chamber orchestra, the a cappella choir, the treble choir. And we offer more electives, non-performance electives too, like the history of rock and roll, music theory, music technology, intro to guitar. This year we started guitar ensemble. We also offer some drama courses. We offer a theater arts course, voice and acting, and theatrical design, which is like a technical theater course where students learn about makeup, lighting, building sets. After school, we continue with the fall play and the spring musical, which has been very successful for many, many years.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. As the director of the Performing Arts Program across the Shrewsbury schools, I'm sure you know how important arts education is and how important everything that we do here is. So could you speak to how important this fundraiser is to helping you fund your needs in the department?
Well, yes. I mean, this fundraiser, hopefully we can fund some of the greatest needs in the department. One that's probably going to be really expensive is one that's been going on for a while, is taking care of our string instruments and our pianos. We need climate control really to balance out changes in humidity and temperature. Storing the instruments over the summer is what does a lot of the damage. We get quite a bit of heat, we get the humidity, and then it cools off. So all of those changes need to kind of be regulated and will actually save us money in the long run from repairs. Speaking of repairs, there are other instruments that frequently need repair and sometimes replacement. We have instruments at all three of the schools where instruments are, Sherwood, Oak, and the high school. Mm-hmm. Some of them are older than 30 years and are in need of replacement. And also, every time you come to a concert and you see us do a new piece of music or a piece of music that's new to our repertoire, that costs a lot of money. Just buying one arrangement for band or orchestra can be $125 or more.
Wow.
So there are lots of things that cost a lot of money to keep the program running, and hopefully this fundraiser will really help us out with that.
Thank you so much for doing this and for sharing all of your knowledge with us. We really appreciate it.
Okay, and I'm looking forward to seeing the telethon and seeing how everything has been put together for this. So, thank you for inviting me to do the interview, and thank everyone for putting the telethon together, and thank you to all the people who are watching.
Thank you for supporting our telethon, Mr. O'Toole, and for everything you do to make our music department as wonderful and successful as it is. Our next performer is Helen Zuo. She is 11 years old and a 5th grader at Sherwood Middle School. She's been playing the violin for 3 years, and tonight she is singing the song Believe from Polar Express.
That was an incredible performance, Helen. Thank you so much. Now, before we continue, I want to remind everyone that this night would not be possible if not for the generosity of our sponsors. I would like to give a special thanks to our presenting sponsors, Jack Collins and Nancy Hughes Collins, for giving us our very first donation and their continued kindness.
Hi, everyone. I am so grateful to be joined by 2 of Shrewsbury's most amazing and most generous people. Thank you so much for being here and for talking with me. If you would go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your history with Shrewsbury.
Hi, I'm Nancy Hughes. I'm married to Jack Collins. I'll let him explain to you why we're in Shrewsbury.
Well, I moved up to Shrewsbury with my family in 1978. And that's the year my dad, Dr. John Collins, actually became superintendent of schools of Shrewsbury, where he was for 16 years. When we retired in 2014, I wanted to come back to Shrewsbury. Being gone for 30 years, try to catch up with the family and try to give back to the town that was great. My younger brother, Patrick, and sister Erin went through the Shrewsbury school system, and 6 nieces and nephews. So, it's a great town, and, the school is really, I think, what makes it such a great town.
Firstly, thank you both so much for your service. That's incredible. And thank you for your extremely generous donation. It started us off on our goal to $50,000 for our amazing program. And I know this is not the first time that you've supported our schools. And it would be awesome if you could tell us a bit about what inspires you to support the schools.
What inspires me is actually a who, and that would be my father, lifelong educator, really a huge influence on my life. And I know my brothers and sisters, just totally dedicated to the kids. One time when I actually got my master's degree in education some years ago, I asked Dad, what makes a great teacher? And he didn't hesitate. I was expecting some long academic answer, but he said, oh, that's easy. You just have to love kids. Mm-hmm. And, so he's really been my inspiration for wanting to support such a great school system. The teachers inspire me, and the administrators. And this has been such a tough year for everybody. But most importantly, the kids really inspire me, the students. Just absolutely incredible. I've seen not just my brothers and sisters, but my nieces and nephews go through this school and go off to college and the workforce, and just a very special experience for them.
And I think for me, so my kids grew up in the military, and so we moved every 2 to 3 years. So they went to a lot of schools. I saw really good schools, and I saw really bad schools, and I saw times where a lot was on me to make sure that they kept up with where they needed to be, because I knew the next school we would be going to, the next school district we were going to be going to, was going to be a lot tougher. I think for me, knowing that we have a school system that is consistent and is consistently good, and challenges the students, but offers a lot of extracurricular activities. I think it's really important, the extracurricular activities that are here in Shrewsbury. There's something for everyone.
What about the Performing Arts Program specifically? Why do you feel that's such an important program to offer students?
Well, let me start with, so Jack and my first date was going to see Mamma Mia in Washington, D.C.,
cool.
Broadway show. And then our second date was, we were in Nashville and we went to the Opry and saw a concert. And I think that we, from the very beginning, knew that separately and definitely together, the performing arts are something that just give us a thrill.
I can think back to, I think it was Urinetown and some other great, plays that we went to in musicals. And I just am in awe, seeing the students up there, maybe a little wishful that I was as courageous when I was a kid. I mean, I played sports, but I wasn't as much into the performing arts, but just the courage to get up there and belt out a song or play a solo on an instrument or remember lines in a play. It's just absolute courage. And then just, analogous to sports, just the teamwork. I mean, you don't have to know just your part, but you have to know the other parts. And it all comes together in kind of like this, cosmic dance. It's just magical. And I would just say, when I leave these performances, I just feel like a little part of me is different. You've changed. I mean, the arts engages a part of the brain that talks to the human condition, the emotions, and it's, it's the heart and the soul, not just the brain. So it's a very special feeling. And, the quality of the Shrewsbury performances, whether it's musicals or orchestra or whatever, has just been amazing. And, we just love going to those, as much or more than going to see a Broadway show at the Hanover Theater.
So fascinating to hear your stories. So I'll just close by saying thank you for your time and for your generosity and your kindness. It is so, so appreciated by everyone, current students, alum. So thank you. And thank you for speaking with me.
Oh, you're very welcome, Preston. And thank you for having us. And we wish all of you the great success.
And we look forward to seeing the 2 nights of performances that are going to be coming up. It's going to be great.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Collins. I also want to thank our platinum sponsors, Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union, enriching lives through banking services and community support, and Rockland Trust Bank, who is looking to begin a relationship with you, opening March 29th at Lakeway Commons. Thank you for supporting our performing arts program. Now it's time to announce a raffle winner. Watch your screen for the name of our next prize winner.
Our next performance is by our brother and sister duo, Ethan and Alyssa Go. Ethan is an 8th grader at Oak Middle School and has been playing cello for 7 years, while Alyssa is a senior at Shrewsbury High School and has been playing piano for 12 years. Both have been taking private lessons and also participate in local orchestra and chamber music ensembles, such as the Worcester Youth Orchestra and New England Conservatory. Tonight they'll be playing Shostakovich's Second Waltz, arranged for a piano and cello duet. You might recognize this song from the soundtrack of the movie Eyes Wide Shut.
Thank you, Alyssa and Ethan. You play beautifully together. Not only is Alyssa talented on the piano, but she's also been selected to play violin for the 2021 Virtual All-State Music Festival. Congratulations, Alyssa. As many of you know, our many bands, choruses, and orchestras could not perform this year as they normally would. This has been a devastating loss to so many students and the audiences that enjoy their work. But our hardworking music directors and dedicated students have found another way to bring their performances to you. Over the next 2 evenings, we are honored and excited to debut 7 virtual performances by our high school music groups. Each performance represents countless hours of work by teachers and students over the last 6 months. Watch and enjoy our first virtual performance by the Shrewsbury High School Orchestra.
Hello, my name is Nishida.
And my name is Ankita.
And we are the co-presidents of Orchestra.
Our orchestra will be performing Wood Splitter Fanfare, written in 2009 by Brian Balmages. Inspired by the courage of a string player who overcame obstacles, this piece is about how we all experience unfortunate incidents. It is in the aftermath of these experiences, however, where we see the true definition of our character.
This fanfare features sweeping lines, forceful rhythms, and compelling melodies. The music drives through several sections before a flurry of chords brings the work into a conclusion. This piece is all about sustaining the excitement of music making so we can leave the frustrating moments behind and celebrate what it truly means to be a true musician. We hope you enjoy a performance of Wood Splitter Fanfare.
absolutely amazing. Please keep watching the telethon to see the debut of more virtual performances by our high school singers and musicians. As we've demonstrated throughout the evening, and certainly with that performance, we have an amazing performing arts program here in the Shrewsbury schools. But the program is about more than just the classroom education and training we all receive. Throughout the night, you'll hear students tell you in their own words what the program means to them. Listen to what our first student, Paulo Burgos Santiago, has to say.
Hello there, I'm Paola Burgos. I've been in the Performing Arts Program for 2 years now, and I've been a part of mixed choir for the same time. It's ironic because I've lived in the United States for the same time. I remember coming from Puerto Rico terrified of what might happen to me as a student. I never thought I would fit in such a big school. But in this place that I thought I would never fit in, I found choir, mixed choir. And it was home for me. It is home for me. And my most precious memory has been walking in to that classroom that first day and seeing everybody ready to sing and ready to make art together. And that first song we sang, those harmonies, that was life for me in a moment where I thought that I wasn't going to fit in. It was my home. It was my happy place. And I treasure the connections with the people that I met, with the people that surrounded me and made me feel at home. The connection with Mr. Lapomardo, when I first saw him, I thought it was so magical. The way he did all of these beautiful things with all of our voices together. I thought it was marvelous. And I'm just very proud that I got to be part of that. Another memory I have was our backstage experiences where in every concert we would have letters written to us, every single one of us, and the energy was unforgettable. And I miss that. As a senior who's about to graduate, I know that I'll cherish that in my heart. The people make good places. People make good memories. And I will never forget the people I met. And I will never forget a concert. I will never forget a song because they were home to me. And I feel that the Performing Arts Program has given me a home. And I just wish that everything you guys are going to see now of the Performing Arts Program moves you, because it moved me, and I'm forever thankful for that.
Thank you so much, Paola. To help support students like her and all other students of the Performing Arts Program, we need you guys to help make a donation. You can do this 2 ways. You can either scan the QR code you see on your screen and it'll take you directly to our donation site, or you can type in the URL listed and make a donation there. It's important to remember that we are trying to raise over $50,000 for the Performing Arts Program all across Shrewsbury Public Schools, and we need your help. Now, we're going to take things back to Preston for another interview, this time with 2 Shrewsbury High School and Performing Arts Program alumni, Jared Troilo and Kira Cohen Troilo from the class of 2004.
My name is Jared Troilo. We graduated in 2004 from Shrewsbury High School, and I am a professional actor and singer and performer. I've worked in New York and in Boston and internationally as well, and that's what I'm doing. And this is my wife.
Hi, I'm Kira Troilo. I was Kira Cowan when I was at high school. So what I like to call like my full-time job is I'm a managing editor for a website that we kind of talk about recipes, tips, hacks, life hacks kind of stuff. But I'm also a professional actress and choreographer. I've worked in Boston mostly. At the current moment, none of us are really performing, but I've done some choreography over Zoom the past year. But yeah, we do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So to start off with our questions, what made you decide to join the Performing Arts Department at Shrewsbury High School?
My parents always took me to see the high school musicals. Growing up, I remember seeing Peter Pan Anything Goes and Carousel. This is when Jack Feldheimer was the head of the program there. That was before our time, way before our time. And I fell in love with it. I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I loved the shows. They were so much fun. And then so once I got to high school, I had to be in the music program because for me, that was like Broadway. I had to do it. So as soon as I got to high school, I joined all the choirs and the theater classes and did all the plays and the musicals and just everything that I could get my hands on.
I was always into gymnastics. That was kind of like my main thing growing up as a kid. But in middle school, I kind of started to hang out with kids from the choir. I was in middle school choir. So, I started getting into it that way. And then, kind of all the kids in choir started to do like summer programs that were theater involved. So by the time I got to high school, I was, like itching to be in the musical as well.
And you mentioned Peter Pan. I'm wondering if you saw Catherine Brunel in Peter Pan when she was at the high school.
I sure did. That's who I saw. Yeah,
oh, that's so cool.
Amazing because she's obviously gone on to have this big Broadway career, and she was, I believe she was Peter Pan. I think I was like 5. I think when I saw it, I was really little, but I remember it so well. It was so good. She was so wonderful. So it changed my life. It's why I'm doing what I'm doing today.
And how did you decide what to pursue in college?
So I, was more into theater as my passion. I have always been a writer. So I kind of thought like, okay, if I'm going to go to school for something to help me with my future, maybe I should go all in the writing. I felt like that was a little more sturdy and that I could still go to a school that had theater. So I ended up going to Emerson College, which had kind of everything I wanted. I could do writing as a major and then, do all the theater that I could there.
So I was highly encouraged by my teachers at Shrewsbury High School, by Michael Loprimardo and Bonnie Narcissi and everyone else that was there to pursue this because they thought that I had potential and that I could go somewhere with it, and I needed that encouragement. So I went to the Boston Conservatory, which is a music theater conservatory, and they kicked my butt for 4 years, and I loved it at times. I didn't like it at times, but for the most part, it was great. And yeah, that's kind of how I ended up making my decision.
So could you tell us what being in the theater and music program meant to you as a student in Shrewsbury?
Finding that community that was there with the performing arts students, it gave me a community. It gave me friends. It gave me a purpose. It gave me a place to fit in.
I was heavily involved in the theater department and gymnastics, but my family was really with the theater kids. And I think, I always, when I was in gymnastics, my favorite was like creating routines for the floor. And I think like finding that creativity could just be so much more expanded on stage. Just give me an outlet for all of the feelings and creativity that I had inside.
What would you say to yourself in high school if you could go back?
This is like, what would I say to myself 2 years ago too? It's the same thing. I would say like, trust yourself, don't stop saying no to yourself before other people can say no. I think I always struggled with feeling like I was like good enough or strong enough. Like you'll hear Jared say like, I knew I wanted to do this. And I think I kind of hesitated on that. I wanted to go with the sure bet, which I don't regret. I'm really happy with where I am.
Yeah.
But if I could go back, I would say just throw yourself in 100%. Don't stop yourself.
There are millions of talented people in the world, and a lot of them want the exact same thing that you do. And if they get it before you, or if they get it instead of you, it doesn't mean that you're any less. It just means that they were in the right place at the right time, and they had the right hair color, and the person, unfortunately, there's so many things in my work where they're out of your control. I think I would just say that don't let that stuff discourage you. Just keep, pushing forward.
Be confident in who you are and make sure you take care of yourself. Because like we said, you go from maybe being the star of the high school to being one of many stars, and it's difficult. And it can feel like you get worn down and broken down, and it's so personal, right? Because like as an actor, the critique you're getting is like on yourself, like your own, your skills and your body and stuff. So like, I'm all about just like, take care of yourself, like you have to mentally be able to withstand a lot. So you have to just like, make sure you're giving yourself that love so that you're not completely like torn down.
Find other passions, find other hobbies, find other friends that aren't theater people that have different interests, because that's kind of how you find balance. It's really easy to get bogged down in doing theater all the time because it's your hobby and your career. But if you find a counterweight, other interests, then I think it's gonna make you a better person and a happier person.
Thank you so much, Jared and Kira, for coming back to talk to us and support our telethon. I also want to take this time to again thank our sponsors. Our presenting sponsors, Jack Collins and Nancy Hughes Collins. Our platinum sponsors, Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union, enriching lives through banking services and community support, and Rockland Trust Bank, who is looking to begin a relationship with you, opening March 29th at Lakeway Commons. After hearing from Jared and Kira, it's no coincidence that the next performance we've chosen to share with you is from musical theater. Carter Siebels is 14 years old and a freshman at Shrewsbury High School. He has been performing since age 9 and taking voice and acting lessons. Carter has performed in all of the students' productions at Sherwood and Oak Middle School over the past 4 years. His favorite role so far was Horton in Seussical Jr. Here is Carter at age 11 performing Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat and Guys and Dolls as a part of the 2017 Hanover Theater Youth Summer Program.
Brother Nicely Johnson. Brother Nicely Johnson.
It happened to me kind of funny, like a dream. That's it, a dream.
Tell us in your own words.
I dreamed last night I got on the boat to heaven, and by some chance I had brought my dice along, and there I stood, and I hollered, someone save me, but the passengers, they know right from wrong. For the people said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. People said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. And then we'll drag you under by the sharp lapel of your checkered coat. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. And as I laughed at those passengers to heaven, a great big wave came and washed me overboard. And as I sang and I hollered, someone save me, that's the moment I woke up. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. And I said to myself, sit down, sit down, sit down. I said to myself, sit down, you're rocking my boat. And the devil will drag you under with a boat so heavy you'd never float. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. 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 Sit down, you're rocking the boat.
That was amazing, Carter. Thank you. And I think I speak for all of us when I say we look forward to seeing you in some of Shrewsbury High School's productions in the near future. Our next performer is also a talented Shrewsbury High School freshman. Chase Kingsky is 14 years old and has been singing and playing guitar for almost 6 years now. Tonight, he'll be performing No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problem by Kenny Chesney. Chase tells us that he chose this song because, with all that's going on in the world right now, sometimes you just need to follow the message of the song and take a break and relax.
Hi, my name is Chase Kinsky, and I'll be singing and playing No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problem by Kenny Chesney. Up to my neck, working 6 days a week, with holes in my soles, with my shoes in my feet. I'm dreaming of getting away, since I don't know. Ain't no better time than now for Mexico. bottom. The sun and the sand and a drink in my hand with no bottom, no shoes, no shirt, no problems. One towel chair and a sand by the sea. Wanna look through my shades and see you there with me. Wanna soak up life for a while and laid back mode. No boss, no clock, no stress, no dress code. No shoes, no shirt, no problems. Blues, what blues? Hey, I forgot 'em. The sun and the sand and a drink in my hand and no bottom, no shoes, no shirt, no problems. Babe, let's get back to tops and flip-flops if you got 'em. No shoes, no shirt, no problems. No problems. No problem.
Thank you so much, Chase. That was great. It's clear we have a very talented group of freshmen this year at the high school. We also have a very talented group of alumni who have graciously given their time to be part of this evening. The first alum is Sophie Silverio from the Shrewsbury High School class of 2018. Sophie is a college junior, majoring in psychology with a minor in music. She speaks to Preston about her experiences in the Shrewsbury Performing Arts Program and the importance of music in her life.
Do you feel that your time in the department in Shrewsbury has influenced the path that you're pursuing since graduating?
I think it definitely has. Doing the musicals and choir were such they were such amazing experiences, and I loved doing them so much. And I know I'm unfortunately not doing the musicals and stuff, but I am doing voice lessons and choir at my college. And so I just knew going into college, I was I still need to have music. And I've also done a bunch of music theory courses, which has been great. And so I knew coming into college, I was I can't just stop doing music. I have to keep up with it somehow, because I honestly don't think I could imagine my life without it. So I definitely knew from high school, and that just kind of accelerated how much I needed to keep music in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
That's amazing. So great. What did you wish you knew in high school that in retrospect would have made a difference?
I feel like the music department definitely made it was the highlight of my high school experience, the performing arts department. And so I think I think I would just want to know, just don't take it for granted, really be in the moment and enjoy it while you can, because after you leave, it's going to be kind of sad that you don't have that anymore. Or at least if you don't continue doing as much, because I was pretty active in the music department in high school, and now that I'm not doing it, I kind of look back and I'm just it was so fun and amazing, and I got to hang out with my friends and just do what I love. So I think just really be in the moment and just soak in every second that you have doing what you love.
Yeah, that just adds to why this fundraiser is so important, so that we can continue to have such a strong department and provide these incredible experiences that are so influential to students, right?
Yeah, exactly. Very well said.
Thank you so much, Sophie, for being a part of our show. Preston will be interviewing Sophie's brother and professional dancer Nick Silverio later this evening, so please stay tuned for that. Before I introduce our next performance, we're going to hear from one of our platinum sponsors, Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union, and also announce two raffle winners, one for $75 and one for $100.
All of us at Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union are thrilled once again to support learning and the arts in the Shrewsbury Public Schools. In our 60 years of service in our community, there have been so many initiatives that we have helped make happen and will continue participation in the future. We hope you'll think about contributing as well. We are delighted to be able to contribute $2,500 to the Telethon and hope you'll come by and visit us or check us out at shrewsburycu.com. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.
We're very excited to debut another virtual performance tonight, this time by the Shrewsbury High School Wind Ensemble and Concert Band. Listen to two senior members of the group tell you about the pieces they are playing.
Hi, my name is Divya Raghunathan, and I'm a senior in Wind Ensemble and Concert Band.
And my name is Oji Anderson, and I'm also a senior in Wind Ensemble and Concert Band.
The Shrewsbury High School Concert Band is proud to present to you our performance of Flourish for Wind Band by Rafe Vaughan Williams.
Rafe Vaughan Williams, a highly respected English composer, wrote some of the earliest works for 20th century concert band, with many of his pieces considered pillars of band literature.
He wrote Flourish for Wind Band in 1939 as the opening to the pageant Music and the People, performed in Royal Albert Hall in London. The score was then lost, only to be rediscovered in 1971 and finally published and made available to American bands in 1972.
It begins with a simple brass fanfare, which gives way to a lyrical melody before the fanfare returns to the end of the piece. At just 2 minutes in length, Flourish for Wind Band is a concise gem of Vaughan Williams' output. We hope you enjoy our performance.
That was another amazing performance by our high school musicians. Performances like this may seem simple, but even a piece that is only 3 minutes long can take months of hard work and countless hours to put together, especially to achieve such a beautiful result. We are so grateful for everyone's hard work. Now, Hannah is going to introduce our next performer.
We have some incredibly talented students in our schools who not only love to play music, but they also create their own original pieces. Tonight, we have several students who submitted their own work to us. The first original work you're going to hear tonight is our next performer, Vyashnav Mohan. Vyashnav is 8 years old and a third grader at Coolidge Elementary School. He loves the piano and he started taking lessons when he was only 4 years old. He likes to write small music pieces as well as recreate his own version of well-known music themes. In the performance you're about to hear, Vyashnav is playing his own piano cover of the Mandalorian theme song composed by Ludwig Göransson. Vyashnava tells us that he loves the series The Mandalorian because of its Wild West nature in music and the scene.
Thank you, Vyashnava. That was wonderful. It's hard to believe we're just about halfway through our first night of the telethon. We've hoped you enjoyed what you've seen and heard so far. We're confident the rest of this evening will not disappoint you, so please keep watching. I want to take this time to thank our sponsors. Our presenting sponsors, Jack Collins and Nancy Hughes Collins. Our platinum sponsors, Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union. Enriching lives through banking services and community support. And Rockland Trust Bank, who is looking to begin a relationship with you, opening March 29th at Lakeway Commons. And our silver sponsor, Midstate Kitchens, who offers free in-home measurements and consultation with no design fees ever. Thank you for supporting our Performing Arts Department. You too can support this wonderful program by making a donation this evening. You can use your phone to scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen and it will take you directly to our donation site. Or you can type in the website you see listed and make a donation online. Your donation will help purchase new stage lighting, replace damaged equipment, and improve storage space for instruments and our elementary school music library. You will also be helping support our United Sound program. I'm very excited to introduce our next interview. Preston is talking with 3 high school music teachers who are also our incredibly inspiring, always hardworking, and endlessly patient directors of our choruses, bands, and orchestras. Listen to his conversation with Michael Lapomardo, Brian Laporto, and Kate Mercadante.
So there are a lot of students that are sharing their performances tonight, which is so exciting. And I'm wondering if you have any stories you'd like to share about students that you've been able to watch grow, maybe from 5th grade or a grade younger to graduating and being seniors, if anything comes to mind.
Like when a student starts playing saxophone in 5th grade and then grows up and changes his mind from saxophone to choir.
Oh, yeah.
and is now interviewing his music teachers. It's always great to see the students starting off as fifth graders. That's one of the things I do miss about teaching in the middle school, is seeing those students right from the beginning and knowing nothing how to hold the instrument, and then kind of growing and just improving, and seeing them gain the confidence that they get from playing an instrument or being in the choir or being in a production, and just the camaraderie that they make with their peers. I mean, when you get to the high school, we have our ensembles are essentially 9 through 12. So you have all ages and grades and students of all different types together, working together for the same product. And I think that's the best part.
4 years ago, back when you were a freshman, that was my last group of kids that I started in first grade. So it's been a long journey watching students grow, but I think we're just at the luxury, and that's really one of the highlights of our job, that we can keep that connection throughout elementary, middle school, and high school.
How has the past year been a challenge for you, and what do you think has been challenging for your students as well?
So starting off with me, it still is very challenging because singing has not resumed back into the school building. So for us, our entire world was shifted upside down, and no normalcy has really resumed back. So we are still working through the challenges of becoming an ensemble through the use of humming only. And it's great that we get to make music, but it's certainly not the same, and we're doing it a different way. So for me, it's still very challenging to work with the kids, but keep spirits up, definitely, and make the best that we can at this present point, because eventually it's all gonna work itself out, and we're gonna get back to singing again.
The Department of Elementary and Secondary Education changed their guidance back in October, mid to late October, and allowed us to play inside. But now, instead of keeping 6-foot distances like in a typical classroom, we are at 12-foot distances. And each student that plays a wind instrument, so saxophone, clarinet, flute, trumpet, has a special mask that we purchased that we had to buy for each student, that kind of is an overlapping mask so that they can kind of part it and put the mouthpiece in. And any instrument that produces aerosols, which is again your flute, your clarinet, your saxophone, your trumpet, have covers that go on the end, or an entire fabric bag that goes around the instrument to kind of capture any of those aerosols from escaping. So that has produced quite a bit of challenge to the students as they're playing, because it does affect their sound. It affects how they hold the instrument, how they play into it.
Like Mr. Laporto said, I feel like we have made lemonade out of lemons here, and found ways to approach different aspects of music education curriculum that we normally don't get the opportunity to touch upon in a typical school year. So we're making the best of it, and just looking forward to the day that everything comes back to normal.
Tune in tomorrow night to hear more of Preston's conversations with these 3 amazing educators. Now, we are honored and very excited to debut another virtual performance, this time by the freshman choir. Shrewsbury High School's senior Thalia Vlahos will tell you all about it.
Hi, my name is Thalia Vlahos. I'm a senior in a cappella choir and an SHS choir co-president. The freshman choir will be performing Aya Nagena, a traditional Zulu folk song arranged by Ruth Morris Gray. This is an energetic piece symbolizing strength and unity. The translation goes as follows. There is strength in unity. We will be strong. Let us be strong. They will fear us. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the performance.
Aya ngena, aya ngena, aya ngena, ngena aya, aya ngena, aya ngena, aya ngena, ngena aya, aya ngena, aya ngena, aya ngena, ngena aya, aya ngena aya puma aya titi sela aya sapa makwaya, aya ngena aya puma
you so much, freshman choir. That was just incredible. It really felt like everyone was performing together, which is something we've all missed this year. Please show your appreciation for the hard work and talent you just witnessed by making a donation to the telethon tonight. You can use your phone to scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen, and it will take you directly to our donation site. Alternatively, you can type in the website you see listed and make a donation online. We hope to raise $50,000 for the Performing Arts Program across all of our schools, and with your help, we can do it. Our next student performer is Adele Fuzyalov. Adele is an 8th grader at Oak Middle School, and she has submitted an original work for tonight. Adele has been creating musical compositions since she was 10 years old and has won a number of awards. Tonight, Adele is performing a musical composition she created to Maya Angelou's poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. In her book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Miss Angelou writes, words mean more than what is set down on paper. It takes the human voice to infuse them with shades of deeper meaning. So Adele decided to try to be the human voice for this amazing poem. Watch her now.
Maya Angelou. I know why the caged bird sings. The free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on a distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, so he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing.
Thank you so much, Adele. That was amazing. Before I introduce our next act, I would like to take a moment to thank our very generous sponsors. Our presenting sponsors, Jack Collins and Nancy Hughes Collins, and our platinum sponsors, Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union, Enriching Lives Through Banking Services and Community Support, and Rockland Trust Bank, who is looking to begin a relationship with you, opening March 29th at Lakeway Commons. Thank you so much for supporting music and theater across all of our schools. And before we show you the next act, it's time for another raffle drawing. Watch your screen now to find out if you won. Our next performer is Shiriyam Shinoy. Shiriyam is a 4th grader at Floral Street School. He's been learning the piano for just about a year now, and tonight he will be playing a piece from the song My Heart Will Go On from the movie Titanic.
Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. So today I'm gonna play the Titanic song, and the song is My Heart Will Go On.
Thank you, Shriram. You did a fantastic job. Next, we're going back to Preston for another alumni interview, this time with the amazing Catherine Brunel, an incredibly talented and successful Broadway performer and a 1993 graduate of Shrewsbury High School.
Welcome. I am so excited and grateful to be joined by Broadway star Catherine Brunel. Catherine Brunel has appeared on Broadway in Thoroughly Modern Millie, Big River, A Tale of Two Cities, Mary Poppins, Elf, Something Rotten, and most recently, Mean Girls on Broadway, to name a few of Ms. Brunel's professional stage credits. And you may have seen Ms. Catherine Brunel in Netflix's The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, NBC's The Sound of Music Live, starring Carrie Underwood, and NBC's One Night Only. And we are so proud and humbled as Catherine Brunel is a graduate of the Shrewsbury Public Schools. So thank you so much for being here and for doing this.
My pleasure, Preston. And Preston is one of my favorite people too.
Can you tell us what being in the theater program meant to you as a student in Shrewsbury?
The theater program in Shrewsbury was the reason why I became a professional actor. I was very fortunate to grow up. Our first home was on Meadow Lane in Shrewsbury. And wouldn't you know that my next door neighbor was Jack Feldheimer, who, if everyone remembers in Shrewsbury, he was a legend. He directed the drama program at Shrewsbury High School, and he was also intricately involved in Worcester County Light Opera, in addition to other theater companies locally. So when I was in the second grade, I did a Patton School production of Hansel and Gretel, and I think he got wind of it from my mom, that I really loved it and I loved doing it. And he said to my mom, you know what? I'm music directing a production of Annie. I think he directed and music directed it at Worcester County Light Opera. Catherine should audition for Annie. And my mother proposed this to me, and I was like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I know Mr. Feldheimer's involved, but I know that scares me. And he kept encouraging me to do it. And then the day of the auditions, I said yes to it. And then that kind of got me on the path of being in all Jack Feldheimer's productions. Mr. Feldheimer was directing a show at Shrewsbury High that needed kids in it. He would ask me and Joey Grillo, who was also one of my dear, dear friends, to be a part of the production. So I essentially got my start in Shrewsbury.
Do you have a favorite memory of performing in Shrewsbury that you'd like to share?
When I was a senior at Shrewsbury High, Mr. Feldheimer chose Peter Pan as the musical my senior year. And I was so excited, so excited. I auditioned and I got the role of Peter. And of course, they wanted to have flying in the show. And they hired this really reputable company called Foy to do all the rigging and to fly Peter and Wendy and, the Michael and John, the darling children. So they do all the rigging, I fly. It's just a magical experience on the Shrewsbury High stage, and one that I cherished for many years to come. So years later, I get cast in Mary Poppins on Broadway, and who does the rigging but Foy? And so on my first day of rehearsal, and of course, Mary Poppins flies over the New Amsterdam Theater, and on my first day of rehearsal, and they're fitting me for my harness, and I strike up a conversation with the guy from Foy. And he says, so where are you from? And I said, Massachusetts. And he goes, well, where in Massachusetts? And I said, Shrewsbury. It's right next to Worcester. And he was like, no kidding. I rigged up a production of Peter Pan in Shrewsbury like years ago. I was like, I was Peter. That was me. I was Peter. You flew me. So the guy that flew me in Peter Pan in high school flew me as Mary Poppins, the role I covered on Broadway. So like I always say, you never know who will have your life dangling by a string. So be nice to people along the way.
So you touched on this a little bit earlier. Did you have a mentor when you were in school here in Shrewsbury that helped you or helped guide you through your what has been an amazing career?
For someone outside of my family, Jack Feldheimer, hands down, Jack Feldheimer. He was just, he taught me what it took to be a performer and the hard work that was involved, but also to never let your ego get the best of you. He had an uncanny ability to always like keep you humble. So that was a really, really, he was just a great teacher for me.
Do you think that a mentor is important to young performers?
I do. It's also like a safe space that you can come to ask those questions. Someone who has a passion for the business like you do, and also who kind of justifies your passion. Like if you see that in an older person, you're like, oh, well, they're just as passionate as I am, and they're so knowledgeable. So it makes you feel like, oh, okay. Because it was very private for me, like my passion for theater and like diving into characters and like figuring out like from out how a character walks in this world. And so I used to do a lot of that, like like alone in my room. But then when you realize like, oh, I'm not like some alien, that other people are this way about their craft too, it makes you feel like, oh, this is what it means to be a pro. So it's always good to find people like that who are just as, nerdy as you are.
Thank you so much, Catherine, for coming back to Shrewsbury to support our show tonight. It was so much fun to hear from you. Now, it only makes sense to follow an interview with an amazing vocalist with an amazing vocal performance. We're very honored and excited to debut another virtual performance, this time by the Shrewsbury High School Mixed Choir. Here to tell you about the song they're singing is Shrewsbury High School senior Madden Brown.
Hi, my name is Madden Brown, and I'm a senior this year as well as one of the co-presidents of the SHS choirs. This song will be sung by Mixed Choir. Kawuna Wangi Pi is a song from Kenya in the Duolo language. The words express joy and gratitude for receiving the gift of water and the importance of making peace with ourselves and our surroundings. Today, we have water. Thank you. We are so happy you have given us water. Please enjoy Kawuna Wangi Pi by the Mixed Choir.
Kawuna wangi pi, ero kamano, wololo re. Kawuna wangi pi, ero kamano, wamora inya. Imia wangi pi, ero kamano, wololo re. Imia wangi pi, ero kamano, wamora inya. Kawuna wangi pi, ero kamano, wololo re. Kawuna wangi pi, ero kamano, wamora inya. Imia wangi pi, ero kamano, wololo re. Imia wangi pi, ero kamano, wamora inya. Wololo re, wololo re, wololo re, wololo re, wololo re, wololo re. Ero kamano, wamora inya. Kawuna wangi pi, ero kamano, wololo re. Kawuna wangi pi, ero kamano, wamora inya. Imia wangi pi, ero kamano, wololo re. Imia wangi pi, ero kamano, wamora inya. Wololo re, wololo re, wololo re. Ero kamano, wamora inya. Wololo re, re, re. Wololo re, re, re. Wololo re. Ero kamano, wamora inya. You bring us rain, rain, rain. Rivers and rain, rain, rain. Rivers and rain. Ero kamano, wamora inya. Kawuna wangi pi, ero kamano, wololo re. Kawuna wangi pi, ero kamano, wamora inya. Imia wangi pi, ero kamano, wololo re. Imia wangi pi, ero kamano, wamora inya. Wamora inya, wamora inya, wamora inya, wamora inya.
That was simply amazing. Great job, everyone. And that is the last virtual performance that will be debuting tonight. But tune in tomorrow night to see performances by the a cappella choir, treble choir, and the Honors Chamber Orchestra. You don't want to miss them. Our next performance is by a student who we expect to see in the Shrewsbury High School choir in the near future. Maddie Schwab is 10 years old and a 4th grader at Patton Elementary School. She has been taking piano and voice lessons for a little over 3 years now. Here she is playing the piano and singing 1,000 Years.
Hi, my name is Madeline Schwab. I'm 10 years old in 4th grade at Patton Elementary School. Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? Watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. All along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more.
Thank you, Maddie. That was beautiful. I would like to take this time to once again thank our sponsors for this evening. Our presenting sponsors, Jack and Nancy Hughes Collins. Our platinum sponsors, Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union and Rockland Trust Bank. And our silver sponsor, Midstate Kitchens. Thank you so much for your support. Now it is time to pick another raffle winner. Pay close attention to your screens.
Many of our students play more than one instrument, and our next performer, Adav Ramprasad, wanted to share both of his talents with us. Adav is a 5th grader at Sherwood Middle School. Here he is, first playing the viola and then playing the piano. He's been playing both instruments for 3 years. On the viola, Adav is playing Mozart by Johann Sebastian Bach, and on the piano you will hear Passe-Pied in C major by George Friedrich Handel. Take it away, Adav.
Thank you, Adha, for an amazing performance. Next, we're going to hear from another Shrewsbury High School student, Alex Zhang, about what the Performing Arts Department means to him. Take it away, Alex.
My name is Alexander Zhang, and I'm currently a junior at Shrewsbury High School. I have been in the Performing Arts Program for about 7 years, ever since the start of 5th grade at Sherwood Middle School. Throughout those 7 years, I participated in band, which consisted of jazz band, concert band, and wind ensemble. The Performing Arts Program provides for a calm yet exciting atmosphere. The different repertoire music we play allow for an intriguing experience. Developing musicians are being provided with wonderful music throughout the school year. I play clarinet and saxophone. Playing these instruments with much guidance from the music teachers from the Performing Arts Program allowed me to not only develop rapidly, but to also enjoy the amazing process of learning music. Additionally, music really allows me to put myself out there and just perform. During my time with the Performing Arts Program, I noticed much improvement with my musical skills and techniques. The teachers that impacted me the most include Mr. Laporto, Mr. O'Toole, Mr. Ugliaro, and Mr. Lepomardo. They have made my music experience unforgettable. I have made many friends along my musical journey throughout different ensembles and groups. Friends are easy and natural to make when everyone's common interest is music. The music directors and teachers have made the performing arts program enjoyable and delightful. With their in-depth musical expertise, there are naturally great teachers and mentors who are patient and easy to talk to. Ever since the start of the pandemic, I have missed the experience of performing in concerts held by the performing arts programs. I truly miss the positive interactions with friends and teachers in my band class. One of my favorite memories was going to a trip to New York with my band class to immerse ourselves in the musical environments in the real world. This trip was organized by the Performing Arts Program, and trips like these allow for an even better experience with studying music.
Thank you, Alex. Not only did Alex talk to us about his experiences in the Performing Arts Program, but he also sent in a performance video. Here he is playing a classic clarinet excerpt from the piece Au clair de la lune, composed by Paul Jeanchon. Take it away, Alex.
Thank you, Alex. That was wonderful. Currently, Alex is a junior at Shrewsbury High School, and he's been taking music lessons for 7 years now. He is another performing arts student who has been accepted to the 2021 Virtual All-State Music Festival. Congratulations, Alex. Our next performance is our first dance performance of the night. Our performer is Hasni Inavalu. Hasni is 9 years old and in the 4th grade at Floral Street School. She has been learning Indian classical dance for the past 4 years, and here she is dancing to a song that is an age-old classic.
Adivo, alladivo, Shri Harivasamu. Adivo, alladivo, Shri Harivasamu. Adivo, alladivo, Shri Harivasamu. Vadivela Sheshula, Vadagalamaya. Adivo, alladivo, Shri Harivasamu. Vadivela Sheshula, Vadagalamaya. Adivo, alladivo, Shri Harivasamu. Ade Venkatachalamakhilommatamu. Adivo Brahmadulaku aparupamu. Ade Venkatachalamakhilommatamu. Adivo Brahmadulaku aparupamu. Adivo Nitya Nivasamakhilamulaku. Adivo Nitya Nivasamakhilamulaku. Ade Suru, Ade అదే చూడు అదే మృత్యుడానందమయము అదివో అల్లదివో శ్రీహరివాసము పదివేల శేషుల వడగలమయము అదివో అల్లదివో శ్రీహరివాసము వెంకటనల్లదివో శేషాచలము మింగినున్న దేవతల నిజవాసము వెంకటనల్లదివో శేషాచలము మింగినున్న దేవతల నిజవాసము.
Thank you, Hansi. You did a really wonderful job. I also want to thank our sponsors for their support. Our presenting sponsors, Jack Collins and Nancy Hughes Collins. Our platinum sponsors, Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union, enriching lives through banking services and community support. And Rockland Trust Bank, who is looking to begin a relationship with you, opening March 29th at Lakeway Commons. Now it's time to announce another raffle winner. Watch your screen to see who won.
Next, Preston is sitting down with another graduate of Shrewsbury High School in the Performing Arts Program. Listen to his interview with the incredibly talented and engaging Nick Silverio from the class of 2013.
Hi, everyone. I am so excited and grateful to be joined by Nick Silverio, who is a graduate of the Shrewsbury Public Schools. I'm so excited to speak with you. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait. I love talking about Shrewsbury.
All right. So if we could just start off, if you want to tell us a bit about yourself, your life, your career, that'd be great.
Sure. So I grew up in Shrewsbury and was a dancer since I was like 3 years old. So I was at a competitive dance studio. I went to Elite Academy of Dance in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, and got involved in theater pretty early on and was just deeply thankful to have access to the resources that SHS was able to provide. And even like Oak, like even like pre-high school, like it's so rare for a public high school to have the level of theater and arts that SHS provided. So I was able to really get involved in the arts and the C Wing throughout high school. And then I graduated in 2013. I went to the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School and went for a year. I then took 3 gap semesters. I moved to New York. I did 2 national tours. I did a lot of commercial and television work as a dancer. And then I went back to school in 2015, graduated in 2018, and I've been working in New York as a performer and choreographer ever since. So I've been performing for 22 years and happy to still be doing it even throughout all of this.
Can you tell us how you were involved in the theater and music program when you were a student in Shrewsbury and what it meant to you?
Yeah, I got involved in like Sherwood in theater, and then I didn't get to do as many, honestly, as like many musicals as I wanted to do, or as many plays as I wanted to do, just because I was dancing so much. And there's that constant balance of trying to balance 30 extracurricular activities in high school, especially when applying to college and doing everything. But I was able to do I did Musical the Musical when I was in 8th grade at the high school. I did Legally Blonde and Almost Maine and Romeo and Juliet, and just like anytime I was able to be involved in a theater production, it meant the world to me. I was probably more involved in choir, which I never like. Looking back, I'm not as much as a singer now in my career, but that was like my gateway into the arts at SHS. So I was in a cappella starting my sophomore year, and that was like did districts in all states, and like that was just such a wonderful sense of community, especially during a time when like everybody's awkward and horror and like high school is awful, and like I was like, I have friends, like I have people across the state like who I share this common passion with, and I'm just so thankful to have had that at Shrewsbury.
You have given us a video of a recent dance performance of yours. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it before we show it?
Yeah, I think it's the Naisha Grace video, I believe, with Natalie Weiss. So that was, I'm trying to think about how that even came about. I think Naisha saw one of my choreographed videos. I think she saw my video First Burn, which like went viral on Hamilton's pages and whatnot. And I think she reached out to me on Instagram and was like, I'm a songwriter. I'm obsessed with your choreography. Natalie Weiss, who I'm like, Bow It Down is recording it for me. I would love for you to choreograph and dance in the video. I want it to be a duet. I was like, absolutely. Are you kidding? 1,000%. And she lives in Philly and I went to school in Philly. So I went down to Philly. My friend Erin, who just graduated Penn in 2020, she was like, or maybe she's graduating this year. I think she's graduating this year. I was like, do you want to do it with me? And she was like, yes, of course. And she's a spectacular dancer. And so we choreographed it in a day. In like 2 hours, we did the whole duet. We filmed it in this beautiful space called like the Iron Factory in Philadelphia. There was no air conditioning. It was like a June day. It was like 102 degrees.
Wow.
We were soaked. It was fit, but it was great. And like when it finally came out and was edited, I was like, this is really a special piece. Like this is such a gorgeous song. Her vision really was able to come to life, and I was thankful to be a part of that. And that's the kind of work, like I love doing on camera work as a dancer and as a choreographer. I love being like, what am I going to see as a viewer through a lens of a camera? Because that is very different from like a stage, you know? So I think I like even more the like on camera aspect of it. Yeah. So that was the Naisha Grace video.
You can see more of Preston's interview with Nick tomorrow night, so please be sure to tune in. And as an added bonus, Nick has given us a recent dance performance of his that he would love to share with you all. Please watch the amazing Nick Silverio and Natalie Weiss. The song is Love Struck by Naisha Grace.
Don't wanna rush this, but I think I like it. Caught in the moment, ready to own it. And I feel you in my skin, under my bones. Yeah, I surrender, let you in, the strength is gone. You've got me falling. You've got me love struck, soaring. You've got me love struck, falling. You've got me love struck, soaring. Don't wanna come down, down. Don't wanna come down, down.
That was an amazing performance, Nick. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And that is a perfect way to close out the first night of the For the Love of the Performing Arts Telethon.
Thank you to all of our performers and those who gave us interviews. You truly made this the performance of 2021. But there's more to come tomorrow night, so please tune in again.
We'll have new student performances, new interviews, and more raffle drawings. We will also be debuting 3 new virtual performances from our high school students. Join us again right here from 7 to 9 p.m.
And please donate. We need your support to reach our goal of raising $50,000 for the Shrewsbury Public Schools Performing Arts Program. Thank you to those who have already donated, and once again, thank you to our sponsors. Our presenting sponsors, Jack and Nancy Hughes Collins, our platinum sponsors, Shrewsbury Federal Credit Union and Rockland Trust Bank, and our silver sponsor, Midstate Kitchens.
Now watch the screen one more time to see who the winners are of our last 3 raffle drawings for tonight. Watch closely to see who won $75, $100, or $200. Have a good evening, everyone.
Ayengena, ayapuma, ayatiti.
Kauno wangipi, ero kamano, walolore. Kauno wangipi, ero kamano, wamora inya. Imio wangipi, ero kamano, walolore. Imio wangipi,